Sorry, there was some problem with my phone, so this video was means recording was getting stopped again and again. So now I have turned off my this internet. So hopefully we will not get this problem in future. So in today's lecture, maybe you will I will share three lecture, and the lecture two will be of shorter duration. But in future I will be more careful. I will means turn on my internet so that this problem doesn't uh, arises in future. So I am saying this state estimation, it will get data from this network topology base system data, and this network topology, it will get information from the status of circuit breaker, and from the status of circuit breaker and isolator and switches, it can change the network topology will change. Okay. So the another data that we will take from the this telemetry from RTUs through telemetry, it is measurements, and this measurements is also going to the state estimation below, because apart from this the network this bus admittance matrix, we need the value of V and delta, and we are taking measurements, we are not taking measurement, because this the data which we receive from this telemetry, it has some errors, noise errors in it. So what we do, instead of one measurement, we are taking many measurements, and we are taking many measurements, so that the estimated values, we will get the best estimates of the actual voltage, current and delta from the RTUs. Okay, so that's why we are taking a number of measurements. So what is happening, this state estimation, it will display we will measure the states V and delta, and from that we can calculate other power system quantities like voltage, like power, PQ, voltage violations and other things, and all these things will go to the system information. For the system information for display, okay. So means this information will be displayed on a screen in the control centers, where the operator will check, okay, what can see what is the voltage, what is the current, what is the active power flow, what is the reactive power flow in the line. Okay, is there overloading in the line, is there any voltage violations in the line or not. So it will be displayed on a screen in a control center. Okay. So once it will be displayed in the screen, and from the state estimation we will check current system operating, we will check current system operating limits check, means we will check if there is any violation in the system or not. So if there is any violation in the system, alarm signal will, if there is any violation in the system, an alarm signal will go. Okay. So I am saying you will check, once we have calculated all the values, okay, the system will go to the display for information to, okay, and this information will, with the help of this information, we will check if there is any violation in the limits. Current system operating limits means current means at the present time. Okay, it doesn't mean the current I, it means current means right now, means we are talking about the present condition, means instantaneous, at a particular instant, present instant, what is the current in the at the present instant, we will check if their limits are violated or not. Okay, so we will say if there is no violation in the system, we will check there is no violation in the system, none of the limits are violated, we will say that our system is operating in the normal state, So once our system is operating in the normal state, then we can go other things like economic load dispatch, economic load dispatch. Okay, if the system is in the normal state, we will carry out the economic load dispatch. We can carry out other functions like security analysis, okay. If the system with the help of security analysis, we can carry out security constant optimal power flow problem. We can solve the security constant optimal power flow problem. And once we have solved the security constant optimal power flow problem and economic load dispatch problem, what will we do then? Then we will go for the AGC. What is AGC? Automatic generation control. This AGC, it is also called as the load frequency control. So what will do this AGC, automatic generation control, it will send signals to the generators, okay, to control its real power output. Okay, so this security constant optimum power flow, it will also go to the AGC. Okay, because if we want that the constant should not get violated in the post contingency state, so we have to make stable adjustments in the pre contingency state. Okay, that is done by AGC, but the signal to the AGC is given by security constant optimum power flow program. And this AGC, what this AGC does, AGC, it means it is called as economic load dispatch control or load frequency control. So this AGC, it senses if there is any change in the frequency. If there is any change in the frequency and tie line power flow, means P, and if there is any change in frequency or tie line power flow, means the power that is flowing in the transmission line or the tie line. So based on that, it will take the control action. It will increase or decrease its generation. So the measurement, one of the measurement that goes to this AGC, it is frequency. This measurement, it comprises of voltage, delta, frequency, many other things. Okay, so frequency will go to the AGC, and tie line power flow, from where will you calculate the tie line power flow? It will be calculated from here, state estimation. Because we know V and delta, we can calculate what is the power flow in the line, what is P, what is Q. We can check the line loading, everything. So tie line power flow, it can be calculated from state estimation, and it will go to AGC, automatic generation control problem. So based on this load frequency deviation and tie line power deviation, AGC will take stable action. So in order to run the system economically and secure, so two more inputs are to this AGC, that is economic load dispatch problem and security constant optimal power flow program. So based on that, this AGC, it will give signal to the generator. It will give to the generator and to control its output. Means either it will give a signal to increase the generation or to lower the generation. So this is when the system was in the normal state. But if the system was not in the normal state, what is required? Then some control action is required. If the system is not in the normal state, not secure, so then control action is required. Some control action is, sorry. So I'm saying we will check the limits here. If the limits are not violated, then the system is in normal state. But if the limits are violated, then the system is not secure. I'm writing secure here. Not secure, then some control action is required. Okay, then some control action is required. Then some control action is required. And what does this control action means? Here we go for generator excitation control if voltage limits are violated, or transmission control if line loadings are violated. So this control signal will go to the generator through this telemetry. Okay, so this is the whole scheme for any this now. Let me raise the camera. Hope it is visible now. So this part I will draw it by a dotted line. This whole part, this whole, it is called as the security monitoring and assessment function. Security monitoring and assessment function. Okay. To explain the functions of these various these state estimation, network topology, current system setting limits, all that, I will share one page. I will send a pic to the CR 8th semester, and he will share that pic with in your respective group, so that you can understand the functions that are performed by this security monitoring and assessment functions. Okay, that is it for today's lecture. So I think lecture unit number 4 is over. So hopefully in the next class I will start with unit number 2, and I will start with the economic load dispatch problem. So in case anyone is having any doubt, so next Wednesday I will again take interaction class. So you people please watch these videos, and so that we can have interaction okay, in that class. Thank you very much.